this was a good opportunity for China to show that they're a responsible power. They're here for dialogue, but no, they were just talking to their own domestic audience. I mean, we used to call this wolf warrior diplomacy, and wolf warrior diplomacy was mostly a Chinese foreign ministry phenomenon. Now, seeing Chinese generals in their, in their uniform and all, making threatening statements, painting the Philippines and Taiwan as troublemakers, and saying our patience is running out. My goodness, this doesn't reflect well on China. They don't look like a responsible power. They look like a country that wants to impose its will on the rest of the region and has zero respect and contempt for the points of view of other countries, including the Philippines. So, in fairness to Marcos, he held his he held his line and he held his temper. I think if another leader was questioned that way with some whatever general in another country, he would have responded more aggressively. I would have responded more aggressively.
Well, Richard, as we all know, the main audience in that ballroom was Asia. I mean, the ASEAN region was there for sure, very well represented. But it also felt like the president was that little brother calling out to everybody in the room, asking to be heard equally as the superpowers, China, United States, and so on and so forth. You think he was also trying to appeal for more support in the ASEAN region? Was that part of the strategy?
Yeah, I think that was definitely part of the strategy to say to the rest of ASEAN, we are one of you. We're not America's deputy, sheriff in ASEAN. We're not the troublemakers here. We're the one being bullied. We're the weaker party, right? And I think China was not very convincing when they tried to paint themselves as the victim and as if there's an Asian NATO forming around them. That is definitely not the case. So I think China was pretty poor in terms of its defense diplomacy, if any diplomacy at all. Well, I think President Marcos Jr. did a pretty decent job of trying to reach out to the rest of the region. But of course, the Shangri-La Dialogue is a global phenomenon. There are representatives from France, from Britain, from Germany, from many countries all around the region. And I think Marcos was also trying to reach out to those countries. And if you look at the speech of Marcos Jr., it perfectly, jives and syncs with the keynote speeches by previous keynote speaker. For instance, Malcolm Turnbull in 2017, who presented Australia as a bridging power, middle power, who doesn't want to be dictated upon by the superpowers. Speech by Narendra Modi in 2018. Speech the other year by Fumio Kishida of Japan. So if you look at a lot of keynote speakers recently, they don't come from superpower countries. And what they're saying is that, no, it's not just two elephants and the rest of us are grass. No. This is a savanna. This is Lion King, right? There are all sorts of different animals, maybe not as big as the elephants here, but we have our vision, we have our sovereign rights, and we have to have our voice. So kudos to Singapore for giving the Philippines, a key ASEAN member, this kind of platform. And I think President Marcos Jr. justified that keynote speech with the balanced kind of speech that he gave given circumstances.